first, are you in the market for a new home? If you are, you're going to want to pay attention. Experts say now is the time to take advantage of historically low interest rates, plus the government's $8,000 tax credit.
But do we just miss out on something else? Vince Ingui, president of Levere's Mortgage in Wilmington, Delaware, is here this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me back.
Those rates are they're back up there a little bit. I'm seeing about 5.5%. We were talking before they were 4.5%. Did we miss the boat here a little bit?
Kind of. And we talked about this.
Yeah, you let us know that 4 or 5 was going to be kind of the bottom.
4.5, and some people were thinking of 4, which we kind of called the unicorn, that thing that was always out there that really never actually got there. The low that we saw was 4.5, 4.75, and the last time I was on the show, we had said, hey, listen, if you can get 4.875 or 4.75 and you're saving yourself a significant amount of money, it makes sense. Holding out for that 4.5 or that 4.25, 4%, you may be risking too much, and here you go, 30 days later, we're now at 5.5%.
But so we've talked about on the show, I'm in the process of buying a home myself, and when you talk to the guy that's going to paint the house or move the house, they say, look, it's historically low for a mortgage.
No question about it. 5%, 5.5% is still good. And we're going to see a bit of a pullback on that recent increase in interest rates. We're expecting rates to get back closer to 5%. But historically speaking, I mean, to get money, and that's the whole thing, is, you know, everyone always wants to catch the best deal or the bottom of the bottom. To get it at 5%, even 5.25%. I mean, I was thrilled to get 5.5% a few years ago on my mortgage, and here we are now. It seems like 5.5% is a high rate, relatively speaking, where we've been.
We mentioned the Homebuyer Tax Credit, $8,000, and you can be considered a first-time homebuyer if you haven't owned a home in 3 years. There's all these new little rules here. Yeah,
that's a little bit of a nuance in the rule, but I have a client of mine who went through a divorce a little bit more than 3 years ago, and her home was actually foreclosed upon because of the divorce. And here she is 3 years later now qualifying for a first-time home buyer, getting the $8,000 tax credit, and buying a new home. So I can't even begin to I can't even underestimate the urgency right now to get that $8,000 before November 30th, because if you're buying a home right now, or at least if you're starting to shop for a home right now, you know, it may take you 60, 90 days, Jen, before you get down there. And if you're buying new construction, you need every bit of that time between now and the end of November to close that deal. So between the $8,000 home buyer tax credit, rates at historic lows, and the percentage that real estate has gone down over the last few years, I can't think of a better time to buy than right now.
So you can use this on a newly constructed home. New construction is part of it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you're a first-time home buyer, new construction does qualify. That's correct.
Some of the home sale reports coming out have given us a little bit of a positive here. Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner came out this week and said the repairs have started. Where do you feel? What are you seeing with the housing market around here? Are we starting to repair ourselves, so to speak?
I think so. You know, we talked about this again a couple months back. Regionally, we've always been better, I would say, than many parts of the country. And if you pull out California, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, and Florida, those 5 states, I think overall, I think we've pretty much, you know, I hate to say it, but I think we're close to that bottom. I think here originally I feel very confident between where rates are, the ability to get that tax credit, and how much we've lost, frankly, in real estate value over the last 3 years or so. You know, if we're not at the bottom, we're very close.
We can see it from here.
The light is starting to show at the end of the tunnel, that's for sure.
Just so it's not a train. That's what they always say. Vince Ingui from Levere's Mortgage, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.